Hello and welcome to No Access Required. So, big business is as big business does.
Micron is taking money from the American people under bipartisan support, and it is then fucking those people over by killing its consumer-facing line of memory, with its mega corporate buyers getting priority over the forlorn consumers who themselves footed the bill to pay for their own economic destruction.
Now, I put this on the other day and had to leave, and I couldn't watch the entire video. I literally just watched what I've just played you. And I thought it would be a great opening for a video, because as the last week progressed, it became evident that Micron closing its effectively retail business, its customer-facing business, was a controversial decision. And so then you can look at statements by Jensen Huang and this chap, the head of Micron. And when taken in the round, it appears to me as though there's a bigger story. Now, on my other channel, Media Mongrel, which I set up to talk about the lighter side of the media, and it didn't work out that way because the media is a horrific shit show, and the UK where I live is kind of a horrific shit show. Yeah. And within that channel, I had a section called Tinfoil Hat Time, wherein I spoke about the more conspiratorial aspects of life here in the UK, deep state activism in broader general politics. I even had a little ditty. Tinfoil Hat Time. I should get that made up as a t-shirt, actually. And this is where we find ourselves here on the No Access Required channel. This is definitely tinfoil hat time. This is, I think, kind of speculation. Because I think great channels like Gamers Nexus really do have their finger on the pulse. They understand things looking forward, looking into the future. They can project what's happening now. And that's kind of something that I do, unintentionally. It's just a byproduct of my rather suspicious mind. So, business is as business does. And in this instance, we can expect business to do what's best for its shareholders. In this case, expand, seek more profit. To this end, Micron have closed down their customer-facing business, or are going to close down their customer-facing business. It's received a lot of backlash. It's possible, however slim, that Micron might look at this backlash and actually think, you know what, we do need to continue with our retail business. However, there's so much money to be made in such a quick amount of time by being a slave to AI. So, what can we expect from these large behemoths moving in the directions that they're moving in terms of AI? Well, I'll tell you. I think what we're looking at is the birth of a technology cartel. Home computing, as Gamers Nexus rightly pointed out, is now under attack. It's my opinion that home computing is going to die over the next 5 years, and that all computing will be done via the cloud, using AI as the donkey to carry the computing load. In addition to this, I fully expect cloud computing to be monetized in the same way that you can buy an internet subscription, and there are various speeds and tiers and levels. Computing will be the same. This is a potentially huge market, and if they can ram this through without any objection from the various politicians which are heavily subsidized by their lobbying, this will be the next big .com. The next big thing. The new, as I'm fond of saying, hotness. It can't be overstated just how much money stands to be made. And the gentleman who runs Micron can see the writing on the wall. He's being smart. Jensen Huang, well, he's effectively just the current guy who is in a well-placed position to make this happen amongst many other CEOs. Games companies have been pushing for cloud gaming for quite some time now. And with the advent of what's going on here and the potential for monetization of cloud gaming, it's not hard to see why they are so interested. The lesson that I've learned over the last 5 years looking at the media in relation to technology and large companies is it's always difficult to see the next big move coming because they kind of keep it secret. CEOs, I think, they have 1 or 2 meetings a year where they all get together in salubrious surroundings, rather like the G20 meetings of politicians, and they decide which direction things are going to go in. And if they're not doing that, well, unfortunately for us, they should be. The practices that these companies are indulging in now are not consumer friendly. If this goes through, computing, or rather the best computing, will be for the people who are moneyed, not for the poorest among us. Controversial, I know, but I did say tinfoil hat time. I know how conspiratorial this sounds, but are you telling me, with all the money that stands to be made via AI and the cloud, that companies eyeing that aren't thinking to themselves, we can carve this up. We can monetize this out the wazoo. As I've said previously, business is as business does, and business will do what's best for its shareholders, and customers are merely a means to an end. My personal feeling is that the customer is still king. We should be king. Companies should be fawning to us to get our money, but no. They've become so fat and complacent in their ability to extract wealth. So do let me know what you think in the comments below. Do like, subscribe, and share. It really does help the channel, and I would appreciate it. And until next time, bye-bye.